You are not delayed. You are interfering. The desire you seek has not failed to arrive. You have simply kept yourself positioned outside of it. I speak calmly because this is not a reprimand. It is a correction. Many believe the work of manifestation is effort. They believe attention creates movement. They believe persistence means doing something again and again. And yet the more they do, the more distant the desire feels. This is not coincidence. It is law. You are not punished for wanting. You are not blocked for desiring, but you are mirrored. What you live as inner posture is faithfully reflected as outer experience, and most unknowingly live in the posture of not yet. You may speak of fulfillment. You may imagine scenes. You may repeat statements. But inwardly, you are standing watch. You are leaning forward, waiting, listening for footsteps that never seem to arrive. That leaning is the confession, not spoken aloud, but assumed. An assumption, not words, is the creative act. So I begin here, not with technique, not with instruction, but with one simple recognition. The habit you believe keeps your desire alive is the very habit keeping it absent. And when that habit is seen clearly, it dissolves on its own. But first, you must understand what you are actually assuming. And this is where we go next. The world does not respond to effort. It responds to state. This is where confusion enters. A state is not a mood. It is not an emotion you chase. A state is a position of being. It is the quiet sense of this is already mine, or this is still missing. Most do not realize they can imagine fulfillment while inhabiting absence. They picture scenes, but return immediately to watchfulness. They affirm, but only to feel something change. And that need to change something reveals the assumption beneath it. You do not try to become what you already are. You do not check if what you possess still belongs to you. Checking is a gesture, a subtle one. But gestures speak louder than words. Every glance toward the outer world asking, "Is it here yet?" declares inwardly, "It is not." And the mirror is honest. It does not judge. It does not delay. It reflects. So when you feel tired, when manifestation feels heavy, when time seems to stretch, it is not because you are doing too little. It is because you are doing something unnecessary. You are assuming the role of the one who waits. And waiting is a state that must express itself. But if waiting sustains the delay, what then releases it? That answer lies not in effort, but in a quiet shift most overlook. And this is what must now be seen. You believe certainty comes after proof. This belief is subtle and deeply conditioned. You were taught that reality convinces you, that events grant permission to relax. But creation works in reverse. The outer world does not reassure you. It echoes you. So when you seek reassurance, you declare uncertainty, not aloud, but inwardly. And inward declarations are final. Faith is not strain. It is not intensity. It is ease, the naturalness of ownership. Consider this. You do not repeatedly remind yourself of what is obvious. You do not feel urgency toward what is settled. The moment you rest inwardly, movement begins outwardly. But many are afraid of rest. They fear letting go means losing desire. Yet desire is not sustained by tension. It is fulfilled by acceptance of already being. When you stop negotiating with reality, reality rearranges itself without resistance. This is why force exhausts you, because you are swimming against your own assumption, and the law never struggles. It simply expresses. So the question becomes very quiet now. If effort confirms absence, and rest confirms possession, which have you been living in? And if the answer is not yet comforting, there is still something more that must be revealed. Because rest alone is not enough. There is a final alignment required. You do not create the desire. It already exists. Your task is not to bring it closer. It is to stop standing apart from it. Imagination is not fantasy. It is placement. Where you dwell inwardly is where life must follow. But imagination must be entered without negotiation, not to change the future, but to occupy the present. You do not imagine to get, you imagine from being. This is the difference. When imagination feels effortful, you are trying to move something. When it feels natural, you have moved yourself, and movement of self changes everything. So you enter the scene gently, not to fix, not to persuade, but to experience. You hear what would be heard if it were done. You feel what would be felt if it were natural. And then you stop. You do not revisit to check. You do not return to measure. You allow the state to remain unchallenged. And this is where sleep becomes sacred, because sleep is surrender. Before sleep, the mind softens, resistance fades. What you accept there is taken as fact. So you fall asleep as the one who has, not hoping, not wondering, resting. And from that rest, bridges form, not by force, but by law. Yet there is one final clarity that must be spoken aloud, because many hear this and still hesitate. That clarity comes now. Nothing is required of you except alignment. You are not being tested. You are being reflected. The delay was never time. It was posture. The habit to stop is vigilance. Stop watching the door. Stop listening for footsteps. Stop asking the mirror to prove itself. Stand in the assumption that needs no confirmation, because what is does not argue. Tonight, do nothing, not as avoidance, but as certainty. Enter the feeling of completion as you would enter rest. Let the desire feel ordinary, unremarkable, natural, and sleep there. Do not command the world. Allow it. The law is effortless. It has never struggled on your behalf. It only waits for you to stop standing in the way. So stop checking, stop waiting, assume, and remain. What you are being inwardly, you must meet outwardly, because consciousness is the only reality, and reality never fails to recognize itself. Rest now. It is already done.